Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're talking about the one, the only Zbcn network. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there are a few things that I do want to cover. So let's just jump right into this. We can see, ladies and gentlemen, Moon Girl says Zbcn event taking place September 29th to October 2nd. Have you guys taken a look at the exhibitioners? There's so many heavy hitters. Zebec, ZBNC, right? Visa, Bank of America, Barclays, Bank of China, and XTC, just to name a few. So we can see, ladies and gentlemen, right? We know that with the Zbcn event, there may be some future teasers. There may be some type of announcement. We're going to have to see. It is just around the corner. It is practically, 5 days to a week from now. So I'm really, really excited to see how things are going to be. But we can see, right, Zbcn network, we have different banks. And ladies and gentlemen, right, Zbcn network has said that they do want to really go global, right? They want to go global. They want to team up with multiple partnerships, institutions, exchanges, everything they can possibly do to pretty much be worldwide, okay? To literally be global. And we can see, right? There's very, very big boys listed over here. So who knows, what's going to happen 100%. But there's a good chance that, ladies and gentlemen, we might get another big announcement soon. We know quarter 4 is going to be absolutely stacked with announcements, right? With Uphold Inc., with the um, basketball, the hockey, the potential partnerships, and everything. We know quarter 4 is going to be extremely strong for something like Zbcn Network, and I'm super super excited to be breaking it down when the time comes. But we can see, right? Barclays, BT Systems, Bank Check, Banking Circle, multiple big boys, Bank of China, right? XDC Network. It's big, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's big. It might mean nothing. In the end, this might mean nothing. But in the end, only time will tell when it comes to the end, right? Only time will tell. Also, I did want to mention, right, Zbcn network cards, right? This is just a little bit of side info, but we can see, ladies and gentlemen, they are doing different types of collaborations, right? We can see, right, Doge 1X, right? Doge 1, there's Doge One cards. You get this. There's a QUAI. I know I probably could have said that better, but yeah, QUAI cards are here. We can see Can Do cards are here. So, ladies and gentlemen, right, there's so much customization. There's so much happening with Zbcn Network. We can see this Phoenix, right? Yeah, Phoenix. Um, and this is what people like. You might think this is a very, very small thing. And in a way it is, but customization, people love to feel like they're part of a community. People love customization. They love to represent, and that is just the truth. So, shout out to Zbcn Network for continuously creating different types of themes because, man, oh man, we're covering everyone on the spectrum. We can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're ranked 150 out of 9,507 active cryptos, 335 million market cap, 13.5 million volume. In the last month, we are down 20%. In the last 7 days, we're down 15.5%. So we obviously see very, very red in the last 7 days. And in the last day, we're down 7%. Still nothing new and crazy for, Coinbase or Binance. But ladies and gentlemen, I would not be surprised if in the future we do get listed. And we can see, ladies and gentlemen, right, despite there's being a sell-off, we can still see we almost went up 80 holders. So, the holders are rising, they are climbing, they are grinding up despite price going down, which is obviously kind of a given since Zbcn is literally a gem, right? I know there's 83,000 of us, but still, trust me, people, this should be worldwide with hundreds of millions of people. Ladies and gentlemen, the time to get serious is now. The next few months are going to be the most crucial time of your lives. Okay. We're going to have crypto exploding. And this is the time to get a portfolio review, right? You got to make sure you have the right cryptos. You don't want any old or dead coins, or you don't want anything that can give you little profits, right? So we provide a portfolio review. We've also been smashing it with the high probability meme coins. We hit an 11x, an 8x, and 5.5x in recent times. We also provide a weekly report on the crypto data, on the crypto analysis, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, on other altcoins as well. You get all this and a bunch more other benefits. Highly recommend joining the private community. ladies and gentlemen, let's make some money. But look, ladies and gentlemen, right? We can see price action is very, very important. Closing candles are important. If you remember from one of my older Zbcn network videos, I did say that just because we have price going up, it doesn't matter too much. And if we close the way we did close here, that there is a high chance of us going down, right? You can literally go back to one of my previous Zbcn network videos from the last 3 to 4 days. I literally did say, right, this candle close is a lower high than this price action over here, which is also lower than this. So we're continuously creating lower and lower highs. And we can see, right, the day started off fantastic, right? So Monday started off great, a pump. Tuesday started off pretty good too. And then by the time Tuesday finished, boom, ladies and gentlemen, right? Tuesday was a huge sell off. We can see we have been struggling and we have been selling off. Overall, the markets are bleeding out. Bitcoin has gone down $4,000 today. So, it does have some type of impact on Zebec as well. But we can see, ladies and gentlemen, that we have swept one area and we most likely will sweep the second area at the bare minimum, right? So we should see Zebec network drop at least a couple of percent, at least probably another 5 more percent. We do have this daily order block here, which we're looking at. And we also do have this area over here of support. So kind of around in the same area, but that's fine. That's fine. I overall will be looking to accumulate more positions because I'm super, and I mean, I'm super high in Zbec network. Even if, let's say we're wrong with crypto and stuff, like, for me, everything is just going to get stalled out longer. I still believe crypto has a future. I believe Zbec network has a future, and I'm still super optimistic. I know people don't like red price action, but ladies and gentlemen, you have to realize it is just part of the game, right? It is just part of the game. It is part of the cycle. And yeah, man, I'm just I personally don't mind this, right? I personally don't mind red because I just dollar cost average. I am personally playing things very aggressive. I have been over the last 2 years. And God forbid, even if it takes a whole nother year of a cycle or whatever, I will continue to be aggressive. Okay. I will continue to be aggressive. And I know that might seem crazy for some people, but for me, ladies and gentlemen, uh, we expected some type of manipulation overall happening with certain altcoins. Like, I'm just gonna give you one example, like ICP, right? I truly do believe this is manipulation for ICP. I don't think this is going to be necessarily the end of ICP, right? I know things look bad in terms of structure, but I don't think we're going to continue to go lower and lower. Remember, at the end of quarter one, ladies and gentlemen, right? Where was quarter one? It was here, right? So we had March, we had a little bit of recovery, sell off, and then it looked okay at the end of March. April, beginning of April was manipulation. And then guess what? Recovery. And we literally talked about how we expected, there to be manipulation at the beginning of April. We took out this area. We started to reverse. We started to go up, right? And that was the start of a new quarter. And quarter four is just around the corner. So I would not be, I will not be surprised if there's going to be some type of manipulation. Um, like I said, I believe this is the manipulation. I truly do believe this is the manipulation. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, remember to always do your own research, do your own homework. I'm not a financial advisor. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.